It's Chris here for IFL TV, MTK Global. With me I've got on the left JJ McDonough. In the centre we've got Kaz Evans from Assassins Boxing, and on the far right we've got Connor Slater, head of boxing at Assassins Ireland. Guys, can you tell me a wee bit more how you're involved with Ireland's Last Man?
Right, so basically the concept was originally kind of thought up by Kaz Evans here, who obviously viewers may know who has Assassin Boxing as an entity itself. And me and Kaz just got talking. It was actually when we were down with Ray Moyle, another boxer I think you interviewed today. And you know, the concept just grew and grew. We looked at what Irish boxing's good at and what it's bad at, and we kind of decided, you know, the broader market is something that has to be, I wouldn't say exploited, but has to be adhered to. And you know, we saw a market there where, you know, there's plenty of my friends, I live in London, but at the moment in Ireland, my friends who love boxing and, you know, tune into all the big fights. But, you know, I tell them come down to the National Stadium on a Saturday night and they won't do it. Then I mention that there's, you know, it's not just 4-round fights, it's not 4-round fights with ticket sellers against journeymen. It is about winning. It's Ireland's Last Man Standing and it's prize fighting. And, you know, that market, you know, you just open up a whole different calibre of people who just want to be entertained. You know, I said to Kaz, what is sport all about? You know, people get, I'm sure JJ originally got into boxing. He didn't get into boxing to make money. He didn't get into boxing to be a celebrity. He got into boxing to win. And that's what it's all about. And, you know, we will reward the winner. You know, the people that lose in the first round, yes, they'll be paid, but they won't be paid, you know, a substantial amount of money, but the winner will. And how it came about was just, you know, a conversation that one thing went from another, and we came on board with Red Corner, who have been fantastic with us, and we've seen a market there, and we really want to get Irish boxing, not only just boxers, you know, that, like, you know, we have great fighters here, Andy Lee, JJ, Spike, but you know, it's boxers building profiles, and that's how it really came about, and the market is really there to be adhered to, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's last man standing, very similar to Prize Fighter. It's Assassin Boxing Ireland, which I started with Connor to follow on from Assassin Boxing. The funny thing is we've got such a big presence in Ireland with JJ, Ray Moyle, some other boxers like that, so it made sense to keep pushing where essentially we've got a bigger fan base really. But Ireland is one of the places that they've got the most passionate supporters in the world. They thrive on patriotism, I think that's patriotism, and represent their country. It's what the Irish are all about. Yeah. They've just been voted the best fans in by UEFA. Yeah. You know, that's ridiculous. So this format, the Irish boxing scene in the amateurs is absolutely thriving. How do we capitalise on that and get them to turn pro? We need a TV deal. We need terrestrial television. We need to entice them over. This competition does that. It brings people, amateur boxers, the hope of coming and getting themselves on television. Take JJ McDonough, you know, I'm biased, in my opinion, he's in the top 3 Irish boxers in the world. I don't care what anyone says. If he wasn't that good, people would want to fight him. And I could give you some household names now, I keep turning down fights with him. But there's more JJs out there. There's more JJs out there, and we discover them with Last Man Standing. Fast, furious, it's all about knockouts. Winner takes most of the money. That's what it's about. That's why we come up with the concept.
Growing up, I've always been a boxing fan, but it wasn't until 3 years ago when Eddie Hearn came over here and did a show with Macklin. With Macklin actually doing the headline in the fight, and you had Spike on the card and a couple of other lads. But what I noticed then was all my mates were getting on the bandwagon because it was there, it was in front of you. It was something big, it was something you wanted to be a part of. And the only way Irish boxing is going to grow is through having casual fans, if you want to call them. They have to come on board. They will turn into hardcore fans. You need, on a Saturday night you go down to the National Stadium, you'll see people there turning out, I just said to you there, go and see their mates fight. They're there and they see them, they bash up a guy for 4 rounds, hit him like a punch bag, and then they go home, they go to the after party. What we want is people to come down, sit there and watch 3 hours of...
I think what Connor's trying to say is casual fans ain't watching Sky Sports. Casual fans, if it's on ITV in the UK, they're going to watch it. Channel 5 are getting the casual fans. You might not get some of the purists, but they're getting the casual fans. Ireland have got passionate people. The casual fans will watch the main terrestrial TV if we put Irish boxers on an explosive tournament, and that's what we're doing.
How big do you actually see this being for Irish boxing, and do you see this being a platform and a stepping stone to something a lot greater over the next few years?
Definitely. This is just a start. I mean, the networks that we've got interested at the moment, we held off from signing the contract. We had a contract on the table 3 weeks ago. We held off on the basis that then we got a phone call from another domestic terrestrial station. Yeah, we're now bidding out for the best deal for us. So we get today over and done with. We see who applies, and then we sit down. It's a platform. It's not a vehicle for assassin boxing. It's not a vehicle for Red Corner Promotions. It's a vehicle for Irish boxers. The more Irish boxers that come out the woodwork, the more amateurs that want to go pro. I mean, let's be honest. Listen, I think Katie Taylor's done a great job, fantastic job. She's an ambassador for women's boxing. We're looking at signing some more women's boxers, but she hasn't boxed in Ireland. You know, and I understand why, because I'm a promoter in the UK, so I get it. But the only way you're going to change that with Irish people is something like this, which would succeed, and I'll be honest, give us the money to then build more Irish fighters in Ireland. A couple of women's boxers that are Irish, that want to go pro, build them in Ireland. I've got Ray Moylett. Ray Moylett's 8-0 now. He's had one fight in Ireland. That's all, because there hasn't been enough shows, enough promotions, enough anything. He's had 4. He's more well known in the States than he's in Ireland. We've got to change that. Irish boxers moving offshore. We've got to keep them in Ireland. The way we're going to do it is with terrestrial telly and more opportunities for them, and that's what we're doing.
You spoke very highly here of JJ McDonough, current super middleweight Irish champion. JJ, one of your last fights was against Jake Ball. Can you describe a wee bit more about that? And if you were,
what was his name?
Was it Jake Ball?
Do you remember him?
I remember.
Yeah, what happened? What happened?
It was...
Did he beat you?
Royal Rumble style.
Did he beat you?
No, I beat him in the first round. It was a good fight.
First round, what happened?
It was...
He caught you first, didn't he?
Yeah, he beat me in a good fight.
Did he knock you over the ropes?
No, that was like not
Oh, right, okay.
No, I don't put slag off Jake Paul.
I'm not slagging him off.
I think Jake is a nice lad. I spoke to him afterwards, and I don't like slagging off any boxer because I wouldn't like him slagging me off. But I'd love to have a rematch with Jake if he wants to. Well, I don't love to have it. If he wants to have it, anytime, no problem with that. I took the fight last time in 5 days' notice, and I take it in 2 days' notice at any time. Even though he's a bigger man than me, I don't fear him. I don't fear any boxer. I'd fight any boxer anytime. I'm boxing now since 2009, and I've 17 professional fights. It's not that I'm not wanting to fight boxers. I'd fight any boxers at any time. It's a fight. I'm trained to do this since I was 11 years old. I'm like the boxing. And I think Jake is a great boxer. He had a good few fights afterwards. He showed himself that he was a good boxer. And I'd be more than delighted if he thinks he could do anything better than that, than the beating I gave him the first day. If he thinks that's a fluke, I'd be more than delighted and give him a rematch.
And listen, can I just interject there? The only reason, and Jake, utmost respect for all boxers, anybody to get in the ring, the reason we chased the rematch was because there was comments made that it was lucky, he caught it and all the rest of it, and loads of people got on the bandwagon and said they wanted to put the wrong right and it was whatever. So we said, yeah, all right, we'll have it, not a problem, because we don't want to take away people saying he was lucky, JJ just caught him and all the rest of it. So we're happy to prove that wrong. Now listen, I'll get it if you don't, you want to move on and you've moved on from it.
Since that, what Kaz is after saying about him, that was lucky and all that. So Jake was saying afterwards over me looking to fight him. I wasn't looking to fight him, I was just putting things clear, and Kaz was, and our team was Assassin Boxing, that it wasn't no fluke, and I don't need a rematch with him. I have nothing to prove, I beat him already. But yeah, I'd be fair on that. If the man wanted a rematch, I'd more than delighted to give him to him. And I'd box any boxer at this stage.
And listen,
anytime I'm mad to get back into the boxing, I'm over 12 months, I'd be ready to fight any boxer. I have a lot of experience behind me in boxing. I fear no boxer out there. Not saying I'm able to beat any boxer out there, but definitely I fear no boxer out there. It's a fight. That's what we're getting paid for to do, win and fight. JJ, I want to fight the best of this stage.
Have we not? You know, what the camera's here. Have we not? Facts. And I'll go back on camera with the person in question to back it up. we've had fights turned down by household top 10 names.
Yeah.
Where I've put JJ forward, run the relevant matchmaker, and I'm not going to swear, but they told me to, something off. Yeah, they're not interested. So, just to be clear, we're happy to take the rematch. We're happy to fight any boxer in the top 10 in the country, let alone top 10 in the world. JJ, people were saying...
Oh, we never refused on
Jake, it was on camera the other day. Jake saying, oh, JJ thought he was going to get a big payday. He hasn't done anything since. He hasn't done anything since. We can't get any fights from him since. Yeah. So, and we went to put him on a couple of home shows, and he unfortunately got a hand injury and then was ill. Otherwise, he would have been twice out on our own shows. So he hasn't gone stale because he's sitting there waiting for a payday. He didn't need a payday. So I just want to put that out there. If you want the rematch, we'll have it. If you don't, not a problem. But let's either put it to bed and stop talking about it, or get it on.
Just add on to that. I think another thing was that Eddie Hearn actually said, you know, that they were targeting the rematch, and that's the reason why JJ came out. You know, JJ isn't chasing it, but you know, I think before the fight, Eddie even said, listen, if Jake Paul is good enough to go on and challenge for elite titles, he'll walk through JJ. He didn't. So if he wants to put a wrong right, that's your man.
And do you know what I do? With Eddie Hearn's other boxers, I box any of these boxers from middleweight, super middleweight, and heavyweight. And if Eddie Hearn wants to get his way back on me to beat me, after I knew he took his money off the prize fighter before too bad hand injuries, then they come out with the last 3 or 4 days notice. Definitely, if I any of these super middleweights, Conor Smith, any one of them, James DeGea, no, James has come from, but any of these super middleweight boxers, no problem on it. He's light heavyweight boxers and he's middleweight boxers.
If none of those fights were to come through for yourself,
if you don't want to do it, me and you, Eddie.
No, listen, we move on from the Jake Paul thing.
if any of those fights weren't to come through, if you were to feature on Ireland's Last Man as an undercard fighter, who domestically would you love to come up against? Whether it be within super middleweight, light heavyweight, as you said, but potentially more within the middleweights to stay with the class of the actual tournament.
JJ, make it easier for him. Let him shout the boxers here, and you say yes or no for fighting.
Okay, I don't like calling names anyway.
We have Sean McGlinchey, Donegal.
No problem.
One of the new prospects up in Belfast is Patrick McCrory.
No problem.
With Jason Quigley.
No problem.
Middleweight champion at Luke Keeler.
No
Love
problem.
it.
Alfredo Mealy. And what about the likes of Conrad Cummings coming back to fight in the domestic setup?
They turned that fight down. I'll say that on camera, because they did. They did turn that fight down.
I'd have no problem. I'm not going to say I'm going to beat anyone, but guaranteed when I go into that fight, I'm going to win, not to lose. It makes no difference if I'm fit or not fit. If it kept me in my time, I wouldn't take a fight, I wouldn't refuse a fight, but you're always good enough to fight there, and when I put my heart into fight, I mean that. I definitely put my heart into fight to win, not to win and lose and not to get paid. If I was getting paid 100,000 a fight, my next fight, I wouldn't be thinking about the 100,000 at that time. The 100,000 I think about before that and I think about after that, but at that time, there's no money in my eyes, it's just the fight. Same as I was fighting a lad for €100 or 100,000 euro, there's no money in my eyes at that time when I'm in the ring fighting, it's fight. And that fight means to win.
Just to finish up on that, I think we've had a good joke here about different fights that could and couldn't happen, but I think going forward, you know, JJ's definitely going to be doing his own thing. We're already, you know, close to agreeing a couple of fights that he will box on as the home fighter. You know, he needs to get back in the ring, get rid of the ring rust, you know, build that record back up. Kaz was saying to him earlier, you know, until he gets up to 17, 18 wins, people won't touch him. So we're going to build him back up, and there's a couple of big fights out there for him. Listen, forget Eddie Hearn, forget Jake Paul, forget them all. We're going to build his record back up, and then there's a couple of big fights domestically that he could be fighting the winner of this competition towards the summer. And before that, if Luke Keeler's around, then we'll do that. And if he vacates, Chris Blaney is a great fight for him.
Luke Keeler don't want it. There's nothing.
Yeah.